During the Dark Age of technology, humanity built machines that could touch the warp and survived. Today we're looking at how the Emperor commanded the warp with machines from the Dark Age, and what it reveals about how the Emperor and ancient humanity once wielded powers the Imperium can barely control today. This is part of a series exploring Dark Age tech and what they tell us about the Imperium. So welcome friends to another 40k video, and shall we begin? We're going to look at around 3 different bits of Dark Age tech and work out how they might have been used during the Dark Age, what their knowledge in 40k shows about Dark Age humanity's knowledge. It'll be bits of actual lore with a heavy dose of speculation, and I hope you enjoy it. Long-term listeners, yes, I've covered some of this before, but I just like the subject, so let's get back into it. Third device, called the Sirrux Anima, is Titan, a creation of the Emperor from the Order Sinister. They have weapons he wouldn't even share with the Primarchs from the Dark Age of technology. Even the lion was prohibited on this one. The key piece was the Anima. It can project psychic phenomena such as waves of preternal fear, psychokinetic effects, biomantic leeching of life in the immediate area, and even the temporal distortion-based reversion of damage to the Titan itself. What can this tell us about the Dark Age humanity's potential knowledge? They can release waves of emotion first. Could that be powered by some stored warp battery that was later replaced in the Emperor's work by the Psychers? Emotion, it would seem, was a variable. They could control something like this. How we think of gravity or radiation. To be maybe a warrior could be exposed to these emotions to hype them up or calm them after a battle. To clear the mind, to study and take in information. To make sure a population could obey their malign overlords without issue. To drive a group of warriors at another, giving one side hate, where they didn't know who they were fighting moments before. So you see all those little influences they could possibly have used it for. Now if life can be leached away, it can also be given back. Could this have been a way for Dark Age humanity to have healed normally fatal wounds? As common as popping into a hospital, could this have been used to heal damaged machines like tanks? We will say during combat, reviving parts of what was a defeated army. If they could reverse decay, could this have had applications within localized areas to restore crop loss due to the weather, or scaled up to stop a dying sun reaching its apex so that the local population can be allowed to leave intact? We see the resurrection technology within Ferrus Minus's Keys of Hell that can bring you back from the dead. It's maybe Dark Age tech and would fit quite well alongside this. Next we have a ship. You've probably all heard of it, you've seen the excerpts on Reddit, the Speranza. It's an Archimechanicum ship. It was found buried beneath the Forge World, and the AI running the show speaks as if it's older than mankind. Now, that's not what we're going to enter today. We are looking at its weapons and the Dark Age implications. It has a black hole cannon, and that's not all. The Speranza unleashed all manner of arcane weaponry into the debris. Chronometric cannons, antimatter projectors, and hypometric weapons of such power that they caused entire regions of space to simply cease existing. The chrono weapons show Dark Age humanity had an understanding of at least an element of the control of time in the materium. It can be adjusted and altered. And the deletion weapons not only echo one used by a man of iron during the cybernetic revolt, which also deleted the warp along with that. It also speaks of a knowledge of reality itself and an understanding of what can be and cannot be removed without causing collapse or unintentional further damage. So that Xenos planet that keeps making moves against the Dark Age humanity empire, you could remove it entirely. So humanity had a Necron-like master of reality. Cole observes in Archmagos how Necron tech is built in a specific way, and how this was like an STC, and thinks maybe all highly advanced societies ended up in that place. Stored within this Speranza's memory is an STC database, with all the goodies from the Dark Age of technology. On board, amongst what it carries are power generation that could harness the galactic background radiation to propel ships beyond light speed. Warp tech that could crack open planets and event a rise of machines that had the power to drag entire star systems into their light and time-swallowing embrace. So we extrapolate out some of this tech to Dark Age technology. What does this tell us? Let's break down these into a few examples. So it seems at one time they could harness the energy of the universe, the warp as well as background radiation, so they should rarely, if ever, be low on fuel for anything they need, when they can extract energy from the very infrastructure of the galaxy. We see that with weapons that can destroy systems, and with their mindset towards such moments, these Dark Age humans had to look at things on a galactic scale at times. The Emperor kind of does that, the same thing. He loves humanity, but not single humans, oh no, outside of a select few perhaps. And he makes choices to aid humanity's larger cause, survival, against the forces of chaos. Event horizon machines to me sound like black holes, so they would need to understand how they work and likely how to shut them down. After that, to speak to both a deep understanding of time and the physics that relate to a black hole. And just a little late addition to the quote. Power generation that could harness the galactic background radiation to propel ships beyond light speed. So that's beyond light speed. So that's a Dark Age ship that's not warp capable, but it has enough power to travel faster than FTL. All Dark Age ships I've come across in stories in 40k, interestingly, do so using the warp. I think this ties into the Speranza being perhaps unique in what it is. And recall outside the quotes, this is all fun speculation, headcanon. And if you then lastly look at this, we have gellar fields, a basic thing on any ship in 40k. They've been used by humanity dating back to the Dark Age of technology, though the dates of when exactly are a little fuzzy. Via them in a stone when they first ventured out, I surmise. It creates a bubble of normal reality around a ship, pushing back the strange physics of the warp, so you can travel through the ocean of soul energy without getting fizzed, or in 40k, literally likely eaten by demons. So how could this have been used during the Dark Age of tech? Let's speculate. Could a safe-ish zone be established when the warp was supposedly calmer? Around a ship, imagine what they could tinker with from the Imperium within there. They could also vary the thinness of the gellar field to allow some energy through to experiment with, allow the warp effective timing, for example. Then think on what if psychers, such as the navigators, could use those areas as a place to train and learn how to read the terrain of the warp that links back to the materium. It might let warp travel be safer. Maybe they could also vary the effects of the warp within the field, allowing a little of the warp's time effect to bleed in. This could, if controlled, allow more time for events to happen, but in a controlled way. We see this when the Emperor forges the spears for Russ and Valdor. Some sort of time effect is referenced within the text to allow the work to be done. So those are my thoughts on these particular Dark Age of humanity, bits of technology and weapons, and my speculation on what they might have been like. And if you like this video on 40k, then why not try this one? I have 2 40k playlists on the channel if you enjoyed this video on 40k. One focuses on the Dark Age of technology, which I like to talk about a lot. The other just covers everything else basically. I also cover Trench Crusade on the channel that shares a lot of real world DNA with 40k, and I cover other things randomly depending on what interests me. And I covered Dune a lot when I started the channel, and I'm hoping to get more into that this year. In fact, I'm sort of reading through various bits like the Dune Encyclopedia, etc. I don't want to repeat what I've done in the past, but I do like the Dark Age of technology. I have subjects I like to return to, so we'll see how all that comes out.